Good morning, Pittsburgh. It is a beautiful day here, and I want to say thank you to everyone for gathering here on this most important pivotal day in Pittsburgh's history. I'm so proud to be here in downtown Pittsburgh with so many great leaders from all across this wonderful city and Commonwealth, people from the public sector and people from the private sector. Representatives from our higher ed institutions and every level of government, local, state, and federal, from the school board to city council to Congress, everyone is here today in downtown, as are the CEOs from the region's top companies who join us today, our labor leaders who built this city and will continue to rebuild it and continue to put people to work. Our nonprofits and major foundations are present. Our artists are here, and even representatives from Pittsburgh's storied sports franchises that are doing really well, by the way. I've gathered, you can clap for Pittsburgh sports teams. I've gathered these leaders from all across this city and Commonwealth here on the 8th Street block with common purpose and a shared love of the city of Pittsburgh. All of us here together. I firmly believe that in order for our Commonwealth to fully thrive, we need to ensure that downtown Pittsburgh, this neighborhood where we are today, is a hub of innovation, is a hub of culture, and is a hub of opportunity for all. That's why today I'm proud to make an historic announcement about the future of downtown. Over the last several months, my team in the governor's office and at the Department of Community and Economic Development, led by one of your own, a Pittsburgh native, Secretary Rick Seiger, and the great Amanda Warren, most trusted senior advisor to me in the governor's office, has worked with a broad coalition of stakeholders representing every corner of downtown. We worked closely with city, county leaders, along with the Allegheny Conference. And I want to take a moment to thank Stephanie Pashman and thank Matt Smith for their leadership. Understand, this is the reason why the conference was started, to tackle big challenges, and that's exactly what they're doing. We wanted to make sure that we leveraged Commonwealth resources behind a bold vision for downtown, one that creates that hub of opportunity, a center of growth and innovation, and a neighborhood where Yinzers can live, work, and play. And today, I'm here to announce our historic investment to kickstart a 10-year strategic plan to realize the full potential of the Golden Triangle. At my direction, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania will invest $62.6 million in downtown. This initial investment will spur nearly $600 million in investment in new apartments, better parks and public spaces, and cleaner, safer streets, more vibrant neighborhoods that will attract visitors from all across this region. But I want to be clear, the Commonwealth is not alone in this effort. The city of Pittsburgh and Mayor Gainey, well, they are all bought in, and they've committed $22 million through the Urban Redevelopment Authority. And hear me on this. The mayor has made clear to me that he shares our GSD attitude and that we are going to move quickly through this process to get these projects done. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Along with the mayor, Executive Innamorato and Allegheny County are doubling down on the work that they're already doing to address homelessness and other crucial services for the people who need it most. And I want to say thank you to Executive Innamorato for her bold leadership. We understand that when we're talking about redevelopment and revitalization, these services are critical to making sure we reach our full potential. But understand, it's not just government that's leading on this, and that's what makes today so special and so unique. Everyone is coming together to tackle these challenges. The private sector, our corporate and civic leaders, all of our foundations are bought in, and they're investing significant capital of their own. And I want to say they have really, really stepped up. I know for a while now, the people of Pittsburgh, well, they've been calling for a real commitment from local leaders and businesses to improve the downtown. And some, and I've heard this, some have even cast doubt on whether the city is capable of taking on such a big task. And let me tell you, I believe that to have a strong and vibrant Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, you have to have a strong and vibrant downtown Pittsburgh. So I'm here to say to all those naysayers, all those doubters, all those people who wondered whether or not we could come together in common purpose, well, I want you to know I believe in the city of Pittsburgh. We can do big things here in Pittsburgh when we work together. So now let me explain what we're going to do. First, we are going to jumpstart the city's efforts to bring folks downtown by investing in safe, high-quality housing right here. We'll do that by taking advantage of a number of underutilized buildings that, hear me on this, are shovel-ready, including some of Pittsburgh's most iconic buildings that are largely vacant right now, like the Gulf Tower and the YWCA building on Wood Street. Our plan will turn 7 shovel-ready sites into new housing for people who want to move downtown. 1/3 of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania's total investment, $22 million in total, will help move along these 7 projects. By 2028, developers will have moved to create or preserve 1,000 residential units here in downtown Pittsburgh. And I know this has been a big priority for the mayor, the county executive, and many others. 1/3 of those units will be affordable housing here downtown. I want you to hear me on this. We are moving quickly. The dollars that the Commonwealth is investing in these projects will not sit on some developer's balance sheet. They will be used to put shovels in the ground and do the construction necessary to build this housing quickly here in Pittsburgh. Second, we are going to breathe new life into our public spaces with a focus on 3 iconic spots in Pittsburgh. For 2 of these projects, we have pulled together $40 million in collective contributions from businesses and nonprofits. From major companies like Highmark, whose CEO David Holmberg is here, you'll hear from in a moment. And I must say, David is wearing 2 hats, not just as the CEO of the most important healthcare institution here in our city that stepped up, but also as the leader of the Allegheny Conference. And I want to say a special thank you to David Holmberg and to his right-hand man, Dan Honorato, a great leader in Allegheny County for many years. David's been my partner. We've been on a lot of calls and Zooms together, and we got this done in large measure because of David's leadership. Major companies like Highmark have stepped up, together with PNC and Bill Demchek, who's been helping lead the way on this for so long. I'm grateful to Bill. In addition to that, BNY and PPG and Pitt, Ohio, they've stepped up in big ways. financial institutions like Dollar Bank and Huntington Bank, Federated, Buchanan, Ingersoll and Rooney, and K&L Gates from our legal community. Everyone has understood the importance of having some skin in the game, and these important institutions have all stepped up. Nonprofits, which have been so key to the success of Pittsburgh over so many generations, they've really stepped up in a meaningful way. R.K. Mellon, the Heinz Endowments, Eden Hall Foundation, the Buell Foundation, they all really stepped up in a big way. And for those companies who haven't stepped up yet, you know who you are. I know who you are. And there's still a whole lot of room at the table for all of you. Pittsburgh's leaders are bought into making our public spaces downtown some of the best in the country. One of those spaces, of course, is the 8th Street block where we are standing and seated today. The Pittsburgh Cultural Trust has been leading on efforts to turn these empty lots into great outdoor community spaces that people want to hang out in. We know we need to do better here, and that's why we're working to build a big band shell, a water play area, and as a father of 4, I love the idea of a water play area for families, and all kinds of great public spaces for arts and events and concerts. We need to revitalize downtown, and arts and culture are going to be such an important part of that. We're also funding, through this initiative, a complete revitalization of Market Square, a place that really used to be a hub of activity in downtown. It's time for Market Square to get some TLC, and they'll be getting a whole lot of TLC in this effort. We're going to add new benches and tables for visitors, help restaurants expand outdoor dining, something clearly Pennsylvanians want, and host farmers markets there, places to gather and pick up some produce and chat with a neighbor. We want to make Market Square a place that just everyone wants to be. The Commonwealth is also planning to invest $25 million to transform the iconic Point State Park. Over the next year and a half, the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources will improve walkways in the central fountain just in time for that 2026 NFL draft, and we are grateful for the Steelers' efforts to bring the draft here. The state park will be a hub of activity for hundreds of thousands of football fans from all across the country who are going to come see what Pittsburgh has to offer. I know the Rooneys are going to throw one hell of a party, and we are excited to be partying with them when they pick last in the first round in the 2026 NFL Draft. But I want you to know the Commonwealth's commitment to Point State Park will not end with those efforts leading up to the draft. That is only phase 1. Phase 2 of our investment will make Point State Park even better. We're going to build more amenities for visitors, like a basketball courts and tennis courts, a dog park. We're going to better connect Point State Park to downtown so it feels like part of the neighborhood for all these neighbors who are going to be moving in to our communities. Third, this plan recognizes that downtown Pittsburgh, in order to be a truly great place to live, work, and play, well, we have to invest in common sense, quality of life initiatives that keep our neighborhoods clean and safe and vibrant, places where people want to be. And it's a particular point of pride for me that Pittsburgh's sports teams have stepped up here to invest in our downtown. Let me explain. The Steelers, the Pirates, and the Pens are all in. And I want to thank the Rooneys and David Morehouse. I want to thank Kevin Acklin. And I want to thank Travis Williams and Bob Nutting. Each of them stepped up when I called to ask for help. With their support, you can clap for our teams. With their support, and they are critically important to this effort, we're going to be able to fund 2 additional Pittsburgh police officers to patrol downtown. Plus, we'll be able to stand up a better youth innovation team for young people who live here, go to school here, who hang out here, who need a little bit of extra help. And we'll be able to expand the services already offered to address homelessness and mental health and substance abuse disorder. Think about that. Our iconic sports teams caring about the quality of life of all residents of our communities, not just the folks who go to games, not just the folks who wear their jerseys, but they give a damn about these communities. And that deserves our appreciation, and I'm grateful to all of those teams for stepping up. And while we invest in public safety and quality of life, we're also going to invest in our small businesses, because small businesses, well, they're the lifeblood of our economy. Corporate leaders like Kevin Walker at Duquesne Light, along with FNB and Giant Eagle, well, they recognize the importance of having a vibrant small business economy. That's why, together with the Hillman Foundation, along with tax credits from the Department of Community and Economic Development and Pittsburgh's Downtown Partnership, we will help revive its small business support program to create more opportunities for homegrown entrepreneurs. We know they can be a catalyst for economic growth, and it's important that we invest in our small businesses. At the same time, the Commonwealth is also going to invest directly in our creative economy. I'm a big believer in our creative economy. It's one of those things that you can see and it just gives you enthusiasm about an area. And through the Pennsylvania Council of the Arts, we have now designated the city of Pittsburgh as a creative community for the next 4 years. That's a big designation. And before you finish clapping, know that that designation comes along with $400,000 to be invested in local artists here in Pittsburgh. I want you to know that is the largest creative community investment that the Commonwealth has ever made, and we're making it right here in downtown Pittsburgh. Together with matching funds from local nonprofits, Pittsburgh will now be able to build out an artist in residence program to build out a stronger creative economy powered by great Pittsburgh artists. Now listen, I know it's a lot, so let me try and sum it up this way. We're creating more housing, attracting more people to live downtown. We're investing in our public parks and public spaces so more people want to spend time downtown. And we're making sure that downtown is clean and safe, where everyone has the opportunity to succeed and the freedom to chart their own course. This multi-pronged investment is not theoretical. This is tangible stuff, and it is unmatched in any other effort across the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And the added bonus, all of this construction is going to create 3,500 construction jobs over the next 4 years. These are jobs that are going to be filled by union trades folks right here in Pennsylvania, right here in Pittsburgh. They built downtown once. They're going to rebuild it and make it even better and even stronger. I know that Greg Bernarding and Darren Kelly and Kenny Broadbent and others are thrilled to know their members are going to have work to do here in downtown Pittsburgh for years to come. Our unions are our partners in progress in Pittsburgh and all across Pennsylvania, and I'm so excited to be working with them on this big initiative. Listen, this is obviously a big day for the city of Pittsburgh, but this is a big day for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. As Pittsburgh goes, so goes our Commonwealth. We need a strong and vibrant downtown to have a strong and vibrant Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. What is happening here is unprecedented. Not just the dollars that are being invested, but the way everyone has come together and everyone believes in this mission. And I couldn't be more grateful to all the partners in progress that we have in this effort. I'm especially grateful to my partner in progress in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and one of your own, who I'm going to invite up now for some remarks, Lieutenant Governor Austin Davis. Thank you all very much.
Good morning, everyone. Today is a great day, not just for Pittsburgh, but all of southwestern Pennsylvania. I want to thank my governing partner, Governor Josh Shapiro, for his leadership in making sure we got this across the finish line. The word of the day is teamwork. We wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the strong partners that we have at the state level, and I just would ask that all of our members of the Pennsylvania General Assembly stand and be recognized, led by our House Majority Whip Dan Miller and Delegation Chair Nick Piscatano. Thank you all for your leadership. To Secretary Seiger and our team at the Department of Community and Economic Development, thank you for your leadership and quarterbacking this through the finish line. To the business community and the labor community, this is an example of what Pittsburgh is about. When we come together to get things done, to move our region forward. You know, I grew up here in Allegheny County, and I know that a strong downtown is critical for our entire region. I will always love and appreciate downtown. It's a place where we used to come when I was a child to make memories. It's the place where I met my wife, and it's the place that we continue to come to make more memories. The Golden Triangle brings people together for work, for arts and culture, for entertainment, and literally boosts our region's economy. But downtown Pittsburgh can and must continue to evolve into a neighborhood that's alive, not just during the workday or for special events, but 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Part of the evolution will include making downtown Pittsburgh not just a place to work and play, but a place to live, a real neighborhood that is safe and clean and vibrant for all. And we're going to make sure this neighborhood isn't just an urban playground for the few, but a place where working people, artists, creators, students, and seniors can find affordable housing too. When we are successful in making this vision a reality, this can be the blueprint for community revitalization efforts all across Pennsylvania. So many of Pennsylvania's towns and cities have downtowns and main streets that once hummed with activity and commerce. When you walk down our main streets, you can see Pennsylvania's history. Buildings that were once department stores or banks or businesses from another time and another place. I challenge all of us to look again, to see beyond what was and imagine what can be. While some may view Pennsylvania's downtowns and main streets and central business districts as relics of the past, the governor and I see them and view them as engines of our future. By making smart investments in bringing together the public and private sectors, we can create that brighter opportunity and future here in Pittsburgh and across this great Commonwealth. It's my pleasure to bring up somebody who's been a strong partner for the governor and I here at the local level, County Executive Sarah Innamorato.
Great. Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. And good morning, everyone. Today is a great day. The sun is shining upon us. We are here together. You know, we are a sports town, but I say that my favorite team sport is governing. And today is a manifestation of all of us coming together to do something big, to do something impactful, to do something that's going to ripple through generations. And I'm so grateful to be a part of it. I'm so grateful to have the partnership of Governor Shapiro, of Lieutenant Governor Davis, of the delegation that we have here, of Mayor Gainey, and so many partners who have come together. This is truly a labor of love, and we are going to do big things here in downtown Pittsburgh. I also want to thank my county department and county employees, my incredible staff at the executive level, our county Department of Economic Development, Department of Human Services, Department of Public Works. You guys make my job possible. So thank you all to all our public servants. $600 million. That is incredible, and it took all of us coming together to get to this point, to build a more livable, more vibrant, and more clean and safe downtown Pittsburgh, where everyone feels comfortable and feels welcomed. We have 3 primary focuses on this 10-year downtown revitalization project, and the county is playing a role in all 3. Vibrant public spaces, converting commercial real estate to residential, and creating a safe and welcoming environment for everyone who steps foot downtown. Investments in these vibrant public spaces where we're sitting right now on the 8th Street block, it's going to be great for tourism. And as we welcome in people from around the world for the 2026 NFL Draft, it's going to be a great sign to show what Pittsburgh is all about. But it's really about the people who live here, because Yinzers deserve nice things. And we are making that a reality here. And we are so thrilled to see what this park looks like and how it is a space for everyone. The county has also played a critical role up until this point with our Department of Human Services. We have really been leading the effort to show that we can create compassionate systems that help our unhoused neighbors. Because of the work of PNC, we were able to announce the reopening of 2nd Avenue Commons, opening on Monday. Thank you, Bill, and your team for all your partnership in that. We have a cold weather shelter plan, and we are being recognized nationally for our efforts to address homelessness with our 500 and 500 initiative. So incredible work coming out of our county employees that serve people and create safe places for everyone. The county also joined with the city of Pittsburgh and the Pittsburgh Public Schools to offer a tax abatement program, our downtown LERTA, which is going to incentivize those conversions, bring more residential units online, and make sure that a portion of them are affordable so that we're building a downtown for everyone. And a strong downtown is great for all 130 municipalities across this great county. And when we can build a Pittsburgh for all, we are building an Allegheny County for all. So thank you all for your partnership. And speaking of a great partner who's been in it in my first 10 months in office, I'd like to bring up Mayor Ed Gainey.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It's a beautiful day to celebrate downtown Pittsburgh. It's a beautiful day. As they said, the sun is shining on us. And then on top of that, we got Governor Shapiro, who brought us joy this morning. When you talk about that level of investment, that's called bringing joy to a city. We thank you for believing in the vision. And we thank you for investing in the heart of our city. I'd like to reflect on our journey to this moment because it highlights the strength, the resiliency that this city has, the spirit of teamwork. You know, Governor, we said it before, that very few times at the state level have you seen the business community, county government, and city government come to the state to talk to you about the investment of this great city. And I thank you greatly for the investments that you brought here today. Thank you. When I became mayor of this great city, our downtown business district was no longer the bustling place it used to be when I was growing up. Like many cities across the country, we were struggling to overcome the aftermath of COVID-19 pandemic. And where a lot of people saw adversity, I wanted to make adversity my friend and find opportunity. The opportunity to reimagine what downtown can look like, what partnerships we could build. I made a promise to not only restore, but to reimagine our living room, to make our living room into something that they hadn't seen before. I knew the challenges ahead would be one that my administration could not do alone. I reached out to my partners and governors, County Exec Sarah Anna Murado, Stephanie Pashman, of the Allegheny County Conference. I've also reached out to our Urban Redevelopment Authority under the leadership of Shushila. And I also want to recognize right now, where's Kyle at? Where's Kyle? Step forward for 1 second. Can y'all give Kyle A round of applause. Y'all know I can't pronounce his last name, but Cal. We convene a diverse group of stakeholders from the public and private sector because we recognize the power of leveraging our resources, of the power of teamwork, the ability to come together. We recognize that. So we leverage that by coming to the table together to create a meaningful city that for the next 100 years will be a place where people want to be. It is with the same spirit of collaboration that we work to bring this plan to life. We will work together to transform our old offices to create nearly 1,000 housing units, a third of which will be affordable housing. We will work together as our beloved public spaces like Market Square and Point State Park that you heard the governor talk about, underused spaces like that to be reimagined for better community parks, better recreational space, things that we can bring our families to. That's what we want downtown. And we will build upon our existing efforts to make sure downtown is a place where residents and visitors feel safe, feel welcome, and know that they can thrive right here in their city, where they don't have to leave to find greener pastures. But right here they can stay, and they can make a living for their family right here. That's what this plan is about, investing of a future of a better tomorrow. That's what we're doing today. That's the power of collaboration, and that is why it's possible for us to take the steps we're taking to remove the silos and show the power of when we come together, how we can create a city for all. It's not one, it's all of us together. When we come together as a city, when we come together as a county, when we come together as a commonwealth, we do things that have never been done. Like today, it may have taken us some time to get here, but we share with you that if you just stay with us, if you just stay focused, if you just stick to the script and follow the plan that it takes to build a city where everybody feels they're included, where the silos are gone, where no matter where your zip code is, you feel you can live, you feel you can thrive, you feel you belong. I want you to feel seen today. I want you to feel welcome. I want you to know that this plan developed by us is not for us, it's for you, because together we will create a city for all. Now let's go get it. Let's bring up the state senator, Jay Costa.
You know, it's just not fair. Thank you all very much for allowing me the opportunity to be a part of, as the governor talked about, this historic moment. And let me say I bring greetings from my colleagues in the Senate. And what's important to note, colleagues from all around southwestern Pennsylvania in particular, because we all know and they know how important it is. So goes the city of Pittsburgh and Allegheny County, goes our whole collective southwestern Pennsylvania region. So, Governor, also let me say thank you very much for this 10-year plan you talked about. And I'd be remiss if I didn't take just 10 seconds to talk about another plan the governor's put into place, a statewide 10-year economic development plan as well, which we've already worked with. My colleagues already begun to implement with respect to the SITES program, which is going to have a major impact in southwestern Pennsylvania, and many other initiatives that have been put forth that we're going to collectively continue to work on. So, Governor, thank you, and Secretary Siger, thank you for bringing folks together, and all the folks who have been participating in the conversations as it related to the city of Pittsburgh. You know, you listened and you heard, and then you captured what needed to be done to be able to revitalize, to begin what I was begin to call maybe our next renaissance that we have here in the city of Pittsburgh. That's what we're talking about. When you look out 3 to 5 years from now, 6 years or 7 years, we're going to look back on this moment in time, and we're going to say how important it is, how profound it was, and the positive impact that it's had on our region, and will have on our region as we go forward. So thank all of you who made investments and really important things. This is a comprehensive plan, folks. I think you've heard that from the previous speakers. When you talk about what was needed in downtown Pittsburgh to begin this process, the nature of the revitalization has to be comprehensive. It's more than just making RCAP investments in buildings. It's more than just being able to make investments in parks or Market Square. It's about the comprehensive nature of bringing other things into this mix as it related to public safety, and the role of the public safety and folks being able to feel safe when they come to work and they want to live here. When you have thousands of people who are going to come here and live here, more than 1,000 units, the impact they're going to have on our restaurants and our businesses and the work that's taking place here. So thank you very much for those significant investments. But I will close with this. It's a charge. It's a charge to all of my colleagues who are here. It's a charge to all the folks who are here this morning enjoying and on this very special day. It's about our narrative. We have to change our narrative, ladies and gentlemen, and we have to move forward with a narrative that's going to talk about the wonderful things that's happening here and the positive aspect of what we see happening in the city of Pittsburgh and downtown here in particular. That's what we need to do. It's our responsibility to deliver that message to the people in our neighborhoods and our communities, and not necessarily listen to some of the negative things that have been portrayed about Pittsburgh, that we are a positive place. You know, I was here this weekend down the road here, 3 Crossings, with the Pumpkin Festival with my grandson and my family. The number of people who were here was incredible. The number of families, people in strollers, people going, and you couldn't get a seat in the restaurant down here on Saturday. And a couple weeks ago, I came to the theater for a show. The vibrancy that we saw in the cultural district here. All of that is so very important. That's what we want people to know about Pittsburgh. That's what we want them to know, that that's the direction that we're going. And that's what this proposal over the course of the next couple of years is going to bring the city of Pittsburgh and to be able to drive our region and drive our county forward. So thank you for the comprehensive nature of what's been put together here. Thank you, Governor, for including the arts. As someone who serves as the co-chair of the Arts Cultural Caucus in Harrisburg, we know how valuable the arts and culture is to our community and how important we sustain it and be able to bring folks to be a part of that. I appreciate the opportunity to be here, so thank all of you very much. It's now my honor to bring up my colleague, State Representative Arian Abney.
Thank you, Senator. And, you know, I love Senator Costa, but I am exceptionally glad that they put me in the speaking list after him and not after the mayor as well. Look, today certainly is a celebratory occasion, not just for downtown, but for the entire city of Pittsburgh and for the region. And this is what it really looks like when co-governance works well together. When you have city, county, and state government with a shared plan and a shared vision, and you have a public-private and philanthropic partnership that come together, that believe in that plan and put the resources behind it to make it a reality. And so look, there was a time in the not so distant past when you looked at the city of Pittsburgh and you looked at the type of investments that were being made. There was an attention to detail to make investments in your more traditional neighborhoods in Pittsburgh. And downtown didn't necessarily meet that litmus test of your traditional neighborhood. And there was this belief that downtown Pittsburgh was self-sustaining, that it could take care of itself. And there was a point in time when downtown Pittsburgh, I think, was either the second or the third largest economic generator in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, right after Philadelphia. And they went back and forth between second and third only with Oakland. And then the pandemic hit. And as the mayor mentioned, it forced everybody to shift their paradigm and to shift their thinking about what the next iteration of Pittsburgh downtown was going to look like. And it took a collective effort over the past several years for us to get to this point here today. And so I want to give a really quick shout out to Governor Shapiro and his administration and my colleagues in both the House and the Senate for this recent budget that we passed in July, because in that budget we were able to get my House Bill 1429, which I've been advocating for over 2 years now. It is a bill that expanded the Neighborhood Assistance Tax Credit Program and doubled it from $36 million to $72 million. And we were able to get it in this year's tax credit bill. And that is a piece of legislation that allows the public-private partnership that we're talking about here today for our business community to invest in and to support the downtown Pittsburgh downtown partnership, so they can continue to keep our downtown safe, they can continue to keep our downtown clean, and they can invite more and attract more businesses and storefronts to downtown, right? That is a big deal. Thank you. I see somebody trying to clap for that. Thank you. And so it took a collective effort. There is no such thing as a successful one person army. And so I thank everybody for their support in making this possible. And so these investments that we're talking about today, these investments really are a down payment on the advancement of the future success of downtown Pittsburgh. And I am just super excited to be able to play my role in this and realizing that this is not necessarily the end of the process, but this is the end of the beginning of the success of downtown Pittsburgh. And so with that, it is my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, the president and CEO of Highmark Health, Mr. David Holmberg. David.
Okay, when you're sixth in the batting order, you have to think about, what hasn't been said. So a couple of things. First of all, I want to be very clear about this. This is team ball, but let's be clear. We're on offense now. We're not on defense anymore. So that's right. For a while there, coming out of the pandemic, we were on defense, and it certainly felt like it. But, together we've come up with a plan how we start moving forward, and I'm very proud to be a part of that. And I'm going to be pretty simple here. But before I do, Governor, my grandson, who's in 6th grade, called me the other night at about 8 o'clock and said, I really need to talk to you. I thought it was like a real problem. And he says, my social studies class is studying government. And he said, do you really know Josh Shapiro? And I said, yes, I do. And then he said, well, give me 3 things that he's done lately, And so I said, well, why don't you tune in your class on Friday and we'll give you one really big one and then I can give you a couple others. So, but yes, for my grandson, if you're out there, I do know Josh Shapiro. So, you heard it from the governor, you've heard it from the county exec, you've heard it from the mayor, you've heard it from a variety of different people. But there's a comprehensive plan here. It's not perfect. It's not all-inclusive. It leaves a lot of room for more. It leaves a lot of room for entrepreneurial spirit. It leaves a lot of room for team ball. And, I'm pretty excited about it. We stand on the greatness of the people that were before us. And many of them did amazing things that we now look back and think are heroic. The reality of it is, most of those people who did those amazing things to build this city and to build this region, they were just common people like us. They just realized there was a need, there was a challenge, and they stood up at the right moment in the right place. That's what we're doing today. You heard very clearly, that there's 3 pillars: the building conversions, the public spaces, cleaner, safer, social issues to be resolved. We're going after all of them. Not all at once, but in islands that we can grow from and we can build from. So, stay tuned. You also heard, that housing matters. We want to have a city where people want to live, not have to live. And that's why it's so important, that we build these public spaces. One of the conditions that we all agreed upon early on in this, and I was asked this morning, how did this all come about? But one of the conditions we all agreed upon was no one can go this alone. No one. And that it was going to be a public-private partnership that could pull this off. We got some outside help, got some other opinions, met with a lot of people to try to figure this out, and we'll continue to do that, but we're definitely on the right track. One of the other principles was that anything we do will not prohibit entrepreneurial investment. And in fact, I think what you're hearing today from the governor is over $600 million of public and private money coming into the city to make a difference. Now, some of you may have doubts. I've run across a few people who have doubted us along the way, and I'm okay with that. If you have doubts that we're on offense, I would really encourage you to go out to the airport and see what Christina has done with the airport, where she's building a new front door for this region. It's spectacular. It'll be open in 2025. If you have doubts, you need to come talk to Kendra Ingram, who's sitting up here in the front, CEO of the Cultural Trust, who can show you in specific documents, pictures, ideas of how this 8th Street block will transform this neighborhood. If you have doubts, we won the draft. If you have doubts, you should look at the building that's been done next to PNC Park that the Pirates are involved with. You should look at the F&P Tower and what's happening there. If you have doubts, you should go back and read the NVIDIA announcement with CMU and Pitt and the work that's going to be done there and Bakery Square and all that. If you have doubts, you should go talk to the CEO for Mainspring Energy, who's bringing 600 jobs to the region. One of the reasons why they came, and it was made very clear by their people, was they believed what we said. They believed in what we could do, and they think that we're going to have an impact. Now, Bob Nutting is over here. Bob, I played shortstop for a long time when I was growing up. One of the things I learned was if you were a shortstop and the ball was hit to you and you were back on your heels, there was a real good chance that that ball was going to hit you in the face because the ball was playing you. I would say today, all of us are on the toes, the balls of our feet. We're leaning in. We're going to have an impact that's going to make a difference. That's what offense is about. And again, none of us can do this by ourselves. This is team ball, and it's an honor to be here and be part of the solution. With that said, I'd like to introduce Ime Alaquiva. Did I get it? All right. See, Mayor, that's how it works.
Art is in the room. Art is in the room. In every major decision, art has to be in the room. I am from Wilkinsburg, grew up in the streets of Wilkinsburg, and art saved my life. And I know big dreams come true because what I've been through, I stand before you today as the vice chair of the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts under our incredibly cool Governor, Josh Shapiro. You know art works when we get through a pandemic because of movies, paintings, poetry, photography. 90% of us would have never watched Tiger King. Art works. We are proud to support Governor Shapiro in his investment in Pennsylvania's main streets and administration's understanding that neighborhoods are the heartbeat of thriving communities. As the vice chair of the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts, our community initiative provides multi-year assistance for creative entrepreneurs, and we do what is required to keep the arts in space and to keep professional artists here. We represent artists in 67 counties and over 175,000 creative professionals. We want to be in the room. Governor Shapiro understands how important it is to be in the room. That is what we want to do. We want to continue to elevate, reactivate these main streets. We also want to join the exciting collaborative funding partnerships to continue to push the narrative that it's not always about the dollar, it's about the difference. That's what we're here for with the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts. And one artist told me, he said, aha, you know what it is. Everything we do it big. And that's what we look forward to doing. Thank you. Sure. Let me shout out, hold on, let me give the proper. Let's give a shout out to Sean Fox, CEO of Oxford.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Sean Fox. I am currently the president and CEO of Oxford Development Company, and I'm not only happy to be here today, but humbled to be part of such an historic event. First, to tell you a little bit about my journey, I started in my mid-20s as assistant to then county executive Honorado in the mid-2000s. I went from government to the private sector, actually working for Oxford, to starting my own development company because of an entrepreneurial drive with my partner John Declawa, to coming full circle, standing here today as the CEO of Oxford. And I would say in the mid-2000s, I actually got to know a young, ambitious state rep named Josh Shapiro. And if you remember Pittsburgh in those mid-2000s, the catchphrase of that time was the brain drain. We were hemorrhaging population and losing a lot of our young people to other regions because they didn't feel there was an opportunity here. Working with my mentor, Dan Honorado, there was a belief that the public sector can create growth and economic development by investing into not only the public and private investments, but into infrastructure, like you're standing here today, and with the help of the public sector, help with creating the tax base, creating new public and private investments, and then creating new tax revenue for the government to invest in things like education and social services. As I mentioned earlier, I did get this entrepreneurial bug, and the company we formed invested over $350 million in Pittsburgh over the last 7 years in projects up and down our waterfronts and in our city. Some of those places are offices where new technology is being made by the likes of Oculus, and specialty manufacturers and our local companies are making new cutting-edge products. One of those projects is Brewer's Block. It's about 7 blocks from here. Is a $90 million residential community. We have over 500 residents. 30% of them are new to Pittsburgh, and over 35% of them are working in our cutting-edge healthcare and educational institutions. But now my young daughter lives in that same community where 20 years ago in my time, she would be working in the likes of Charlotte, Raleigh, or Nashville. And to get a call as a dad and say, "Hey Dad, I'm coming back from the bus, working at my job in Highmark, do you want to get a drink and grab dinner with me?" Which is code, "Will you please buy me some food?" And then please go take me to get some groceries. At Oxford, we have over 60 years of history investing in our communities, and we've developed over 60 million square feet of commercial property. Communities like in Monroeville, where we built Monroeville Mall and hotels and surrounding retail, to the Strip District, where we took 40 acres of abandoned industrial land and created over 350,000 square feet of commercial office building and 1,000 residents, to being a part of Renaissance 2, when the community came together at that time, and our founder, Eddie Lewis, worked with the community and built One Oxford Center, a 1 million square foot tower here in the community. And make no mistake about it, what is happening over the last couple of years in commercial real estate, the downtown commercial real estate market was hit unlike any time before. Not only for those projects that may have been under construction, which saw delays in materials to 40% increases in those materials and not knowing when you were going to get them, to historic rise in interest rates, and then a change in how people view office space. It was a challenge like we haven't seen before in commercial real estate. Our $42 million downtown conversion of a former office building, the Porter Hotel on Grand Street, will create over 165 new mixed-income housing units. We'll take a building that come this spring would be without a tenant, without a plan, looking at how we cut expenses for that piece of property, looking how we reassess the taxes, and really a race to the bottom. Governor, on behalf of the commercial real estate industry, Pittsburgh, we want to thank you for your vision. We want to thank you for your leadership. And we want to thank you knowing that the partnership between the public and private sector creates results. Our message to the greater community, and by demonstration here today, and one of personal experience, is if you want to move to a community that embraces entrepreneurship, move to Pittsburgh. If you want to live in a community that embraces community and individualism, move to Pittsburgh. We look forward to doing our part in rolling up our sleeves and get to work. And thank you again, Governor, and the local leadership for this event here today. Thank you. Next up on the bat list, Greg Bernarding with the Pittsburgh Building Trades. Greg.
I never batted ninth in my life, ever. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Greg Bernarding, the business manager of the Pittsburgh Regional Building and Construction Trades. I'm excited to be here today with leaders from across the city and Commonwealth, particularly my fellow labor leaders like Kenny Broadbent, Darren Kelly, Eddie Bigley, Jason Markovich, and Tom McIntyre, and others. There's a lot here, but I don't see them all. I've known Governor Shapiro and his team for a while, and we share that get that stuff done mentality. So I can't say that I'm surprised that he's been working with our local leaders on a big transformative plan for the city of Pittsburgh. Like us, Governor Shapiro loves Pittsburgh and is committed to investing in it. This plan to revitalize downtown creates massive opportunities for our union members and our community and economy as a whole. The Pittsburgh Regional Building Trades are home to some of the hardest working, most skilled tradesmen and tradeswomen in the country. Personally, I think we're the best right here in Pittsburgh. But I've always said, and a lot of you heard this before, that I want our union members to work here in Pittsburgh and at home where they contribute to our economy and the community, not to have to go to another state to work. It's called booming out. We don't want to see them go to Cleveland to work. Sorry, Governor, but I won't say it again. We'll still work right here in Pittsburgh. And this plan does just that, creating over 3,500 construction jobs downtown and giving our union workers an opportunity to provide for their families while rebuilding the city we know and love. We appreciate Governor Shapiro's strong leadership and continued commitment to our city's region, and we stand ready and eager to build Pittsburgh's future. So let's get to work. Now I'd like to introduce Sushila from the URA.
Good morning, good afternoon. My name is Sushila Namani Stanger. I'm the Executive Director of the Urban Redevelopment Authority of Pittsburgh. Today marks a significant moment in our city's history, and I'm extremely grateful to Governor Shapiro, DCD Secretary Seiger, and Morgan Boyd for their support in order to get us to this day. I'm also extremely grateful to Senators Costa and Fontana and the city for their early capitalization of the URA's pilot downtown conversion fund through ARPA dollars. I also want to thank our local taxing body investors, many of them are here today, the city, county, and school district, and their legislators, who earlier this year authorized a by-right tax abatement to spur investment downtown. Through a collaborative process with local public and private partners, we've illustrated a solid vision-to-action strategy to advance the revitalization of downtown. Historically, the URA has led countless site-specific economic development and financing strategies to rebuild the city and position our residents and businesses for success. At the core of our work is creating a place where future generations will want to stay. Our post-COVID challenge is also a new opportunity to fill the void left in the office market and create new quality and affordable housing, job creation, infrastructure, and placemaking projects. Some of you know that the URA is the oldest redevelopment authority in the nation. To articulate a downtown investment plan, our leadership team, along with our board of directors, thank you for being here today again, have leaned into tried and true strategies that we've employed in the past, but with increased creativity and relevance for the post-COVID challenge we face. It really wasn't that long ago that we remediated former steel mill sites and prepared pad-ready development parcels and reclaimed our waterfronts for active public use. Redevelopment work for which our city is now globally recognized. And I do want to thank so much our private sector partners and the Allegheny Conference, the true economic engine for our region. We saw those sites that we prepared reclaimed by innovators in our region. They repositioned our region into eds, meds, finance, tech, robotics, and now AI. Data-driven plans are important in identifying gaps, and visioning is crucial, but people believe in action more than anything, and that's why we're already moving forward. So far, the URA has deployed and committed nearly $22 million to date, creating 979 new housing units, 282 of which will be affordable. The lessons we learned from the past has frankly prepared us to address our post-COVID downtown issues. Over the past 2 years, we started local by creating a tax abatement tool, and we built momentum and a collective energy, plus a plan for our Commonwealth partners to plug into. And together, we will leverage this momentum to attract federal dollars. With this capital investment and public intervention, the current void in our office market can be filled and meet the needs to increase our housing supply. I want to thank the mayor, county exec, PHFA, who is also here, Housing Authority, and our CEDO, Kyle Chintalopoli, Lauren Connolly at ACD, and my talented colleagues at the URA, Tom, David, Kiana, Becky, Leah, James, and all the URA staff who produce with professional insight and skill. We are not only creating a downtown for our current residents to thrive, but the mom in me knows that we're building a downtown for our children. So thank you to the Commonwealth, and I'm thrilled to invite the governor back up.
Let me just close by saying this. It is clear that we are all rowing in the same direction. It's clear to me that we believe in Pittsburgh. It's clear to me that we love Pittsburgh. And it's clear to me that we can get shit done in Pittsburgh. Thank you all. Have a great day.